Today I'm going to take you through a daily stretch routine that you could be doing every single day. No equipment needed. If you do have any yoga blocks, you might want to grab them. Equally, a cushion or a blanket would work just as well. We're going to start in the seated position. Maybe you even want to sit on the block or a cushion just to raise the hips to make it a little bit more comfortable. But just finding that position, grounding down through the sit bones, lengthening tall through the spine. And then from here, we're going to drop one ear towards the shoulder. Let the chin circle across the chest to the other side, ear to shoulder. Find that release. The chin circles all the way around. And just working between the two sides, letting the head go heavy. Feeling any areas of tension as we work. Maybe into the neck or the shoulders, even the upper back here. Just letting the breath flow, resisting the urge to hold our breath where we feel the tension. And taking one more to each side. And then just holding to one side, ear to shoulder. Let that same hand reach on top, lengthening the space between the ear and the shoulder. Maybe flexing the opposite hand for a deeper stretch here. And just holding for a few breaths. Think of sending the inhale to that open space. Exhale, release any tension. And then when you're ready, gently releasing, bringing it across to the second side, ear to shoulder, hand lengthens over the top, creating space. And just working with the breath here. Slow, controlled breaths. And when you're ready, gently releasing. This time letting both hands come behind the head. Drop the chin to the chest. Elbows squeeze together as you just roll down through the upper back. Thinking of creating some space between the shoulder blades. Maybe even playing around with some gentle movement here. Rocking side to side, or even finding a figure of 8-like motion. And when you're ready, slowly releasing, rolling all the way back up. Fingertips are going to place to the shoulders, and we draw circles forwards with the elbows, opening at the back, closing at the front. Again, creating some space between the shoulder blades into the collarbones. And just taking one more like this, and then simply reversing, bring that circle backwards, really opening into the chest. Taking one more like this, and then we let the hands release together, joining behind the back. Lengthen the arms straight, open the chest, maybe lifting the gaze here. Sending the breath into the chest, and either staying here, or if you wish, hinging the body forwards, trying to lift the arms as high as possible. Thinking of squeezing the shoulder blades together still. And keeping the hands lifted as high as possible, slowly sitting all the way back up and gently releasing. Placing one hand to the mat next to you. Opposite arm reaches up and over, finding a side bend. Walking the hand away for support, or even softening the elbow for that deeper stretch. Trying to press both glutes and hips down into the mat and thinking of opening towards the ceiling. Taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, press the ground away, taking it to the second side, hand to the mat. Reaching up and over, again, maybe walking that hand away, or softening down to the elbow, keeping both of the glutes heavy, trying to look under the arm towards the ceiling. And slowly coming back through center. Inhale, lifting both arms up, lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, hinging forwards, reaching for the floor, relaxing over the legs. Again, softening the elbows to slowly lower the body down. Allowing each exhale to sink you further into that stretch. Knowing you can stay in these positions for as long as you want. And when you're ready, tucking the chin to the chest, slowly rolling all the way back up. And from here, we're going to tuck the toes under, shift the weight forward so you find an all fours position. I'm going to come sideways on my mat. Shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, hips are stacked on top of the knees. I start with a flat back. As I inhale, I'm going to arch my back, lifting the gaze towards the ceiling, belly button to the floor. Exhale, chin to chest, curving through the spine, press the ground away. Inhale, arching the back, lift the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, curving the spine, pressing the ground away. You're just working through these two positions with your own breath, in your own time. Feel free to hold into one position for a couple of breaths if it feels needed. And just listening to the feedback from your body. Let's take one more breath like this. And then just returning to that flat back again. From here, the hands are going to step towards the top of the mat. Inhale, as you exhale, melt the chest down towards the mat. Forehead places down, either to the mat or a block or a cushion. Tailbone stays high, so we're not in our child's pose here. If you fancy a deeper stretch, you can lift the head, place the chin down to the mat. Letting the breath just flow here, really opening the upper back, the chest, the shoulders. And when you're ready, shifting the weight forwards, come to lying on the stomach. Hands are going to place underneath the shoulders. I'm going to give you two options here. Pressing into the ground, either just lifting the rib cage off the mat for your baby cobra. Keep the head in that nice neutral line. Or if you're feeling comfortable here, press the ground away, lifting the body up into your full cobra position. Resisting the urge to just sink into the back. We're pressing the ground away. Shoulders are relaxed, collarbones are open. Maybe even lifting the gaze if it's comfortable here. Holding for a few breaths, and then when you're ready, pressing backwards, sitting to the heels, find your child's pose just to reverse that curve. Knees can be wide, head can drop heavy. Thinking of breathing into the back of the rib cage. Exhale, release any tension. And from here, tucking the chin to the chest, slowly rolling all the way back up. And we're going to come to our high kneel position, stepping 1 foot forwards to your half kneel. Hands can support onto that front leg. Inhale, as you exhale, opening that back hip, send the weight forwards into your front leg for your low lunge. And we're just holding here, thinking of squaring the hips to the front of the room. Even if it means a shorter position, keep that hip tucked in, squeezing into the back leg. You can use the hands for support. If you do have a block here, you can always use the blocks as well. However is comfortable. And taking your last couple of breaths here. And then sending the weight back into that back leg, straighten out the front leg. Lengthen tall through the spine, and we're just hinging forwards from the hips. Keep that flat back. Again, you can use the leg for support here, maybe even grabbing the blocks back or reaching for the floor. Optional flex into that front foot is going to take it a little bit deeper. Focuses on maintaining that flat back rather than hunching over. Think of untucking the hips, send the tailbone to the back of the room, lengthening out the spine. You should feel this into the back of the leg. Taking one final breath, and then slowly releasing, bringing the body up. We're going to let the front foot step all the way across the mat. Hands can come down as we drop the knee heavy. Top leg is going parallel to the top of the mat. Option if you want to grab the block or the cushion here to place just underneath that glute as we find our pigeon pose here. Staying to the hands, or you can lower down to the forearms, maybe coming all the way down, forehead to the mat. Wherever you're most comfortable. Thinking again of trying to keep the hips even here. We're not dropping to one side, we're rolling them even. Support through the hands, through the body where needed. And knowing that this is quite a deep stretch for our hips and our glutes, so taking your time to find that comfortable position, any gentle movement that might feel good for you, and just working with the breath. When you're ready, slowly coming back to the hands. If you've been working with a prop, you can pop it to one side, and then just stepping that front leg back to meet the other one, sitting the hips back, find your child's pose again. Maybe even just a gentle rock side to side to release any of that tension. And on your next inhale, slowly rolling all the way up, finding your high kneel position. And we're going to come to that second side. So the opposite leg steps forwards. Inhale to lengthen tall as you exhale, shift the weight forwards for your low lunge. Think of opening the back hip. Hands can support to the knee or maybe the blocks. Really squeezing into the back leg for support and just taking a gentle tuck under the hips here. Opening that back leg, let the breath slowly release you into the position. And on your next exhale, shifting the weight backwards, straighten out the front leg, optional flex in that front foot, finding your tall spine and then just hinging the body forwards from the hips. Again, you can use the leg for support, maybe grabbing blocks, or if you're comfortable, just reaching for the mat here. Keeping that flat back. I'd rather see a flat back than a lower curved over position. You're going to lose the stretch slightly there. Taking one final breath and slowly coming all the way back up. Letting the front foot walk across the mat. Place the knee down. Again, option to place something under that glute for support. And either staying to the hands, coming to the forearms, or letting the head drop all the way down. Keeping the hips equal. And again, allowing any movement that might feel good here. Perhaps it's a little shift side to side. Maybe gradually lowering the torso over time as the body releases. And again, a reminder, you can stay in these positions for as long as needed. When you're ready, coming back to the hands, stepping the front leg all the way back. Let's one last time just find our child's pose. Sitting the hips back, lengthen the arms forwards. Your next inhale, tucking the chin to the chest, slowly rolling all the way up. Let the arms lengthen overhead, reaching through the body as tall as you can. And exhale, just release the arms down. And that is your morning stretch out with me. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see next.